Alright, good morning guys. Fun fact, it's kind of hard to see in here, but it looks like there's a really bright star above the moon. That is Venus. Alright guys, so today obviously we went to the beach. Our hope was to go see the shuttle launch yesterday, but that was scrubbed yet again. So I'm sure there's some stuff I can talk about here. So first of all, I don't know if you've been to the beach lately, but if you notice how far away the water is from the dunes up there. So if I were to guess, we're at a it's called the spring tide. So in other words, the Earth, the moon, and the sun are in a straight line. So that's going to cause higher high tides and lower low tides than normal. So the high tide line is way back up there. Kind of hard to see it. Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's take a look around, see what else we can find. But it's called sargassum seaweed. Now, what's unique about sargassum seaweed, if you look, there's little balls there. They hold gas in them, and so that's why they float, because they have that gas in them. What's beneficial about this, well, first of all, it's a macroalgae. And then there's many different species that rely on this, that kind of, they swim with it. There's a lot of fish that kind of blend in with it. Like a lot of times you're out in the ocean, you see a bunch of this stuff and you pick it up, there'll be some other stuff in there. You might not even realize it. Let's see what else we can find. I can't stress the importance of sand dunes in our county here. This is pretty much the only thing keeping a very bad storm surge, hurricane, from causing a really lot more flooding than it should. So as you can see, our sand dune here, it's already starting to kind of erode away a little bit. You can see all the roots exposed there. But that's what a sand dune is. It's protection from the ocean here, from the water level going up too high. There's also a lot of wildlife that lives over there. But it's just a combination of the roots, all the plants there. Even that seaweed I showed you earlier, it gets in there and kind of holds it together, kind of structurally. It's like a natural wall of protection. So really important. That's why there's a lot of signs that say stay off the sand dunes, you know. It's called an auger snail on the beach. You've probably seen them before. They're kind of cool, but they can actually be pretty venomous. You can be careful with them. They're a predatory snail. Some of them have this little barb they can stick out and, you know, attack their prey. So that's all. It's pretty cool. Found them. If you see them, be careful. That's all. Later. All right, common question I get. Okay, especially here in Flagler, in this area, you notice some of the beach is kind of reddish, especially right here. The reason it's reddish is there's an abundance of coquina shells. Those are these little shells right here. I say they kind of look like fingernails. They're not fingernails, but they're coquina clams. They're actually really small clams, and you can see them in the water sometimes digging around. But basically these get crushed up because there's so many of them. Over time they get crushed up and crushed up and crushed up. They give it that reddish appearance here. Okay, not only that, they can form into a rock, coquina reef. If you go actually just a little bit further south of here, you can see coquina reefs, and on top of that, St. Augustine, there is a old fort there you can go see. I forget what it's called, Castillo de something or other down there in St. Augustine. It's made entirely of coquina reef. I highly recommend you check that out. All right, so it's obviously sea turtle season. If you guys have been to the beach lately, you'll notice all the nests are marked off. So, you know, I could go on and on and on about sea turtles, but one thing I want to talk about, usually don't realize, is that if you live on the beach here, you can't have any lights on after a certain time. Okay, and the reason for this is when the baby sea turtles hatch, oftentimes they rely on the moonlight to tell them where to move to. So if there are big spotlights or something in a house or something, it can throw them off and they can go the wrong way. There's a little snowy egret. Real quick, notice on the beach, anytime you go to the beach, if you see trash around, please pick it up, because that will end up in the ocean and cause lots of issues. So please do that. Plastics are really bad. This isn't plastic, it's a can. Cans are bad too, but you know, animals mistake it for food, they eat it. Plastic takes forever to break down, and it starts breaking down. It'll turn into smaller plastics, and smaller plastics can get into anything, get into the meat of a fish, and then you can eat it and get into your foods anywhere. So please don't leave trash on the beach.